Now on 4 News Now at 6, the power of water. We're looking at how rivers across the inland Northwest have been abused and the impact it's having on our environment.
I am tracking rain and snow moving across the region right now. I'll let you know how much snow to expect where you live in the first alert forecast.
Building restrictions have been lifted for one Spokane neighborhood, why some families are concerned with more people moving into the area, and the city's response. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. We start with breaking news. Rescue crews have launched boats into the Spokane River. There have been reports that someone might have fallen into the river near the Spokane Convention Center. This is a developing story. We will update you as we learn more. Water. It's one of the Earth's most precious resources. Some families fight for access every day. In honor of Earth Day, we're partnering with ABC News to bring you the power of water. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron Luna. Tonight we're highlighting what's being done to protect the hundreds of lakes and rivers across the inland Northwest and what's being done to protect the fish that call them home. And one of those rivers is the Snake River, stretching more than 1,000 miles, once home to a thriving population of salmon and steelhead. Today, many of those populations going up against the threat of extinction, a situation environmental experts are calling dire. In a special report tonight, our Jordan Smith joins us from the Snake River with what the numbers are showing, what we can do to reverse these trends, and how long it would take.
Collectively, the salmon and steelhead populations that return to this river to lay eggs, just 10% from what they were just decades ago. It served as a world-class fishing location for generations. The Snake River becoming a mandatory experience for anglers and fishing enthusiasts across the globe.
I have a friend that comes from Switzerland every year and spends 15 days fishing for steelhead here because this is the nexus of where it really is amazing for summer run steelhead.
Josh Mills knows these waters well, but the river that once offered an abundance of salmon and steelhead, now nearly depleted of those coveted resources.
This is one of those situations where we're really hanging on to threads of what used to be.
The waters that once saw a million spring and summer Chinook return to lay eggs each year, now just a fraction of its former glory, as wildlife expert Jay Hesse can attest to.
Over the last 5 years, it's about 8,000. So 1 million historically, and we're about 8,000.
As a whole, the Columbia Basin, which includes the Snake River, sees 500,000 to 1 million salmon return each year. Waters that once saw 15 to 20 million during good years. A near majority of the returning salmon populations on the cusp of extinction. And here in the Snake River, 42% of spring and summer Chinook populations are facing quasi-extinction. That means 50 or fewer come back here every year to lay eggs. As for what's amplifying these issues, experts like Chris Donnelly with the Department of Fish and Wildlife point to climate change, harvesting, and the dams along the Snake River.
Well, hydropower, it's great, clean energy. It supports economics, so I'm not the one here to say whether we should or shouldn't have dams. However, we should understand the reality of what hydropower does, which it kills a tremendous number of out-migrating smolts.
The dams help slow water speed for farmers to transport goods and services like wheat along the river. But the mortality rate for fish is hard to ignore. According to the Nez Perce tribe, the survival rate of salmon after traveling between all 8 dams ends up only around 50%. Multiple salmon populations could blink into extinction just decades from now. And there's no overnight solution. The restoration process will take decades to fix. Each person that we spoke with acknowledging a compromise has to be reached.
We just can't do museum piece management and having a handful of fish coming back to the Snake Basin and saying that that's an adequate balance between all of the interests in the basin.
Otherwise, this tradition that our region has fallen in love with will soon reach an end.
It's one of those experiences that if you lose it, we'll never get it again.
On the Snake River, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
A lawsuit against agrochemical giant Monsanto has come to a settlement over PCB contamination in Spokane. Monsanto paid the city of Spokane $6.7 million. The class action lawsuit will pay out more than $550 million across the nation. Peter Choi is downtown with how the city will spend that money. Peter.
Yeah, Aaron, take a look at this behind me. So the Spokane River stretches more than 100 miles long, starting at Lake Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. And the city tells me today it has been dealing with the PCV contamination for years. Now, the settlement is significant to expedite the cleaning work. Now, joined by other cities right now, like Tacoma and Portland, a class action lawsuit against Monsanto began in 2015 over the city's stormwater and wastewater system. The city says investing money in projects that will help reduce in the river is a top priority.
PCB chemicals they're dangerous from a health perspective. So what we want to make sure of is that we are getting them out of the environment as quickly as we can, and certainly don't want them to go into the environment anymore. So really our role is to do everything we can to filter those pollutants out of the water.
Now, she says the stormwater is a significant carrier of PCBs. Now, with the settlement, the city says it plans to complete the largest stormwater basin, the Cochrane Basin Stormwater Management Facilities, covering 5,000 acres in Spokane and receiving pollutants from all types of land use, from industrial, commercial, restaurants, and households. Now, city also tells me that there also plans to apply to more funds right now, but however, when or how much funds are still unclear at this time. Live in downtown Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Peter, thank you. With everything that pollutes the Spokane River, there's one organization that makes it their mission to clean it up. Spokane Riverkeeper is a group of people who are dedicated to protecting and restoring the health of the Spokane River watershed. The nonprofit is involved in advocacy work and education surrounding the Spokane River, but also hosts regular cleanup days. On these days, volunteers go out on foot or by boat to clean harmful materials out of the river. The next river cleanup day is on Earth Day at Highbridge Park.
It's an urban river, and there's certainly a lot of plastic litter. I would encourage people to wear sturdy shoes, an extra jacket, bring a water bottle.
One is welcome at this Saturday's Earth Day River Cleanup event. It starts at 10 in the morning, ends at 1 in the afternoon. And it's not just pollution that threatens the Spokane River. Climate change is expected to push spring snowmelt earlier in the year, which could end up hurting the river and our aquifer during the summer months. You can watch that story and the rest of our Power of Water coverage right now on KXLY.com. Our dry weather coming to an end. We have rain, even snow on the way. We'll send it over to our chief meteorologist, Chris Crocker, with that forecast.
Well, don't be surprised if you wake up with a little bit of snow on the grassy surfaces where you live. These are our odds for measurable snow. Measurable snow is 1/10 of an inch or more. 20% chance in Spokane. That jumps to 55% in Coeur d'Alene. A good chance of measurable snow in Sandpoint and Wallace tomorrow, as well as Lookout Pass, a 100% chance. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We have some rain working its way across the Columbia Basin. Temperatures are dropping, and as they do, we'll start to see that rain transition over to snow. Our forecast radar shows that wet weather moving into Spokane somewhere around 9 o'clock. By midnight, most of the area will be seeing snow rather than rain. Until you get down, you could tell right along the river valley, 1,900 feet and below. It's a fast-moving system, so by tomorrow morning, here's 8 a.m., most of the region will be dry, and the last of those snow showers coming to an end as we get into tomorrow mid-morning. The best chance of wet weather will be right around midnight, a 90% chance, and then it slowly falls off. Finally, by about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's back down to 0. This evening, dry at 7, but then the odds of some snow start increasing around 9. Again, a better chance getting closer to midnight. Good time to walk that dog earlier rather than later before that wet weather moves in. I'll be back with your weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. On Monday, the Spokane City Council will vote on whether to investigate Spokane Police Chief Craig Meidl. Last month, we told you about multiple groups calling for Meidl to resign and for Mayor Nadine Woodward to change practices stemming from allegations they showed favoritism towards a group of downtown business owners. Here's what the mayor had to say about the vote during an interview with our radio station 920.
I'm very concerned with what the council is trying to do here. They are alleging favoritism. I call it public engagement.
The chief is also accused of letting certain people bypass normal protocol when in need of police services with faster response times. The police chief says all the accusations are unfounded. The death penalty is no longer part of Washington state law. Governor Inslee signed Senate Bill 5087 today. The governor issued a moratorium on the death penalty back in 2014. 4 years later, the state Supreme Court ruled the death penalty unconstitutional. The House voted in favor of removing all death penalty language from state law last Friday. Opponents of the bill say taking the death penalty off the table gives prosecutors less leverage in getting murder suspects to cooperate with investigations. Still ahead on 4 News Now at 6, construction started on a new landfill in Adams County. When it's expected to open, and who's going to be sending their trash there. And the puck drop for Game 2 between the Seattle Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche is less than 20 minutes away. We'll have a preview of tonight's game coming up next on 4 News Now at 6. Before we go to break, we have some schedule changes we want to tell you about. Tomorrow, you can catch a special edition of 4 News Now at 4:30. Then you can catch Game 3, where the Cleveland Cavaliers take on the New York Knicks. That's at 5 o'clock. After the game, join us for another special edition of 4 News Now.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Saving you green.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Put some spring into your step with Great Floors. Shop exclusive specials throughout our showroom on carpet, luxury vinyl, and cultivated wood. Save on Karastan carpet, only $20.23 for a whole home installation. Our huge selection and expert team are here to help you recreate the perfect look and feel of your home. Great Floors offers 12-month 0% financing, so you are free to select the exact flooring you want. Visit a showroom today and live life on Great Floors.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
With the biggest third rack on the market, bowls, glasses, and mugs all fit in the third rack of KitchenAid's new line of dishwashers.
At Fred's, they're in stock and on sale. See the new line of KitchenAid dishwashers at Fred's Appliance.
KitchenAid dishwashers are quiet and dry your dishes completely with a fan that circulates hot air in the drying cycle.
Pay no interest when paid in full in 12 months at Fred's Appliance.
When Fred's advertises it, we've got it. Get your new appliance today.
After winning Game 1, the Seattle Kraken are back for more. We are minutes away from Game 2. It's the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche. Sports Director Julian Minnesone joining us now live in studio. The Kraken pulled off the upset in Game 1. Game 2, not going to be easier, though.
Oh, no, it will not. Now, the Avs, you know Colorado very well. You got family there. You worked there.
As did you.
As did I. They are very good. It's difficult to beat them twice in a row. The last time Colorado lost consecutive games was early March. But get this, the Kraken were one of the teams that beat the Avalanche in that span. Seattle has also won all 3 games they've played in Colorado this season. So, yeah, this won't be easy, but the Kraken might have the secret sauce to beating the defending champs again.
It's a 7-game series.
So you gotta, you play the game, and make sure you do everything you can to win the hockey game, and then flip the page. Our guys have done a nice job of being able to flip that page, be ready for the next challenge. We know and understand what the situation, what the opportunity is.
And the puck drops at 6:30, about 17 minutes away from Ball Arena in Denver. Game 2, it should be exciting, Aaron.
Julian, thank you. Chris.
Today's temperature almost 10 degrees below average in Spokane. 49 our high, 58 is our average high. There's a lot warmer weather showing up in the 7-day forecast. But first, some snow. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
Mark Consuelos is Live's new co-host. Friday, Cheryl Lee Ralph from Abbott Elementary.
And it's a big deal.
Plus, Anna Lee Ashford.
Watch Live tomorrow at 9, right after GMA.
Experience the film that started it all as a live symphony orchestra performs with the full movie on the big screen.
Second show added. Get your tickets now at ticketswest.com.
I just don't think STCU could handle us. We've grown a lot.
Can I be frank with you? Not just because that's my name. Now, we've upgraded our tools, team, and bring a fresh perspective.
So what's your pitch?
Slow down a bit. Growth's great, but uncontrolled growth, now that can be dangerous.
And how could growth be bad?
You ever seen a 6-foot-tall third grader sitting on Santa's lap? It's weird.
This is some sort of reverse psychology.
You can't drive 80 miles per hour down a highway that's not finished. You don't want to eat a grilled cheese.
I would have stopped at the first one.
I didn't know where I was going with that anyways.
I get your point, but I don't need STCU to help us slow down.
True, but we're happy to offer strategy and advice until you do need us. Sometimes, what's best for you doesn't boost our bottom line.
Sounds like STCU actually cares.
We do. All right, 3, 2, 1. Feel like we've had a breakthrough here today. STCU Business. Partner up.
Spring into action and take your adventures to the next level with Northwest Motorsport. Fuel your next adventure at nwmsrocks.com/spring. Find the keys to your next adventure at Northwest Motorsport.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Overcast conditions in Spokane, and the clouds are moving in Coeur d'Alene. Temperatures in the 40s in both locations. They'll be dropping soon. 36 for a morning low in Spokane with rain and snow. Some accumulation possible, especially on the higher benches and the grassy surfaces. Tomorrow, possibility of a little bit of rain or snow in the morning in Spokane, but then we'll be drying out by mid-morning. It'll take a little bit longer until the snow comes to an end in Coeur d'Alene. Here's a look at our live satellite and radar. We're watching a fast-moving front working its way our direction, already seeing the rain in the Columbia Basin, and it's rain right now over the passes of the Cascades. That will not be the case for long. Snow levels are dropping down to the valleys. Here's our forecast snow, and this is a model that has updated since the 5 o'clock. This is a rapid refresh model, so we see a little bit difference, of difference in some of the numbers, but in general, an inch of snow or less, and tough to measure because just about as fast as it piles up, it will be melting. I think any snow you do get at your house will be gone in very short order, but again, around the region, in general, less than an inch in the valleys, Mountains could see between 2 and 4 inches of snow. Our overnight lows tonight will be staying above freezing in most locations. Roadways other than the passes should be in fine shape. I would not even expect much in terms of slushy accumulation there. Friday's high temperatures in the 50s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 49 in St. Mary's. These temperatures still running below average, but that will not be the case for long. There's some good things happening in your planning forecast. First of all, a nice Earth Day if you're participating in some of the cleanup activities or planting trees. We're heading up to a high of 56, mostly cloudy skies. It will be a dry day, and then the rain comes in late in the day into Sunday. Sunday, a good chance of rain, possible thunderstorms, and temperatures back up closer to average. We'll take one step back on Monday into the mid-50s with a chance of showers, and then a warming trend that could take us into the 70-degree range. That would be a treat by Thursday, with dry conditions as we get into the end of the week as well. Coming up in the next half hour, I have your ski report, plus I will look at the possibility that this trend might stick around as we get into the first part of May. Aaron?
Chris, thank you.
1, 2, 3, dig! Oh, dig harder!
The ground is officially broken at Waste Management's newest facility in Adams County, and soon it will serve residents in eastern Washington, Idaho, and Montana. It's located just west of Pullman, outside the small town of Washtenaw, and near the Palouse River. 4 News Now's Natalie Grant spent the day in Washtenaw learning about this new facility and why community members say the benefit outweighs their concerns.
It's been more than 30 years since the state of Washington has had a new place to put their trash. But soon, a new facility in southeastern Washington will be up and running. On Thursday, Waste Management executives stood side by side with local elected officials to celebrate the groundbreaking on a project that dates back to the 1990s.
This project has been in the making for more than 30 years.
We're standing here on 3,300 acres that's owned by Waste Management that will soon be home to their new state-of-the-art facility. But 550 of these acres will be specifically set aside for the new regional landfill, which hopes to serve communities in the inland Northwest for the next 150 years.
This facility is important because it means jobs, economic vitality, and environmental protection for Adams County.
In their remarks, Waste Management said they have several safeguards in place to make sure this plant will have minimal environmental impact, especially when it comes to nearby water sources.
Some farmers that have wells near here, they're concerned about leakage, possible leakage in the future, stuff like that, hitting the groundwater. I think that's eased a little bit, but there's still going to be people that are cautious.
And just down the road in the town of Washtenaw, residents we spoke with say the jobs and traffic the facility will bring outweighs any environmental concerns.
Employment's going to be good for the place, so I hope that some locals could be able to get some work there. I think it's far enough away. I don't think there's really going to be a problem.
Hoping to bring new life to a small town in 2024. Reporting in Adams County, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Still ahead, lead pipes have been contaminating water all over the country for decades. How some cities have tried to remove that toxic chemical from their supplies. Plus,
there's a new push to bring more resources to Spokane schools when it comes to Holocaust education. I'll explain what this could mean for students coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Chicago. Celebrating 25 years of Broadway Razzle Dazzle. The Associated Press calls Chicago the most entertaining musical of the decade. Paint the town again with Chicago the Musical.
May 13th and 14th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile. Somewhere to help me get in the know. Oh, wait, there is. Bring your friends. Good morning, America. GMA 7A. Now that's how you start your day.
Luxurious Karastan carpets are just the footing you need to live beautifully. And now, during National Karastan Month, you can save beautifully. Use your exclusive rebate to receive up to $1,000 back on select styles of Karastan carpets and the flawless craftsmanship of Lux Craft hard surface flooring. Live beautifully, save beautifully with Karastan at Panhandle Carpet One, Floor and Home.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Panhandle Carpet One.
Look at this baseball field and this one. How about this one? Which one is next for a 4 News Now Extreme Team Diamonds and Dreams makeover? How about yours? Go to KXLY.com and tell us why your field deserves a makeover. Diamonds and Dreams brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
BCU is just an incredible community partner. We feel very fortunate to have them on board as we try to help families move forward and be stable and successful.
It is so important for both our families and our staff to receive current financial education.
What Eric's doing with his classes is basically giving them the knowledge they're going to need to be financially self-reliant.
It's not a topic that's typically taught in schools, and yet it is the baseline of access to almost everything that we do.
Come to Chihuahua Casino and cruise home a winner. You could choose keys or cash. Play your favorite games to earn entries. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. Earn bonus entries on Sundays in April for even more chances to win. You could win a 2023 Chevrolet Trailblazer or $25,000 cash. Join us for jackpots, food, and fun at the place that treats you right. Chihuahua Casino.
4 News Now is brought to you by BECU, supporting partners with families.
If it can happen in a country like that, it can happen anywhere.
This week, people worldwide are commemorating Holocaust Remembrance Day, honoring and remembering the 6 million Jews killed across Europe during World War II. In Spokane, more resources are on the way for schools to help teach kids about the Holocaust. Bronte Sorotsky explains how the Holocaust Center for Humanity is involved.
Better resources for teaching about the Holocaust could be coming to Spokane, giving educators extra help as they teach about one of the darkest periods of history.
Now, you don't want to happen again. That's the main thing.
99-year-old Carla Pepperzak was just 18 years old when she joined the Dutch resistance and put her life on the line to save the lives of other Jews trying to escape the Nazis. She saved many Jews by hiding them, even disguising herself as a German nurse to do so.
I think that Germany at the time was probably the most educated and the most civilized country in Europe. They had good schools, they had, a lot of music, and if it can happen in a country like that, it can happen anywhere.
Now, Carla lives here in Spokane. She travels to schools, sharing her story with the hopes to educate, inspire, and stop anything like this from happening again. In September, a middle school named after her will welcome its first group of students, expanding Holocaust education in Spokane. And soon, SPS will get an office dedicated to educating about the Holocaust.
So that's part of what this education is. It's part of why Carla's story is so important, why naming a middle school after her is so important, why teaching this in school is so important, is so that we can have everybody have that understanding of our history so we don't repeat these terrible things from our history.
This office will be a branch of the Holocaust Center for Humanity, with a person designated to help teachers have the resources that they need to educate kids about the Holocaust year-round.
Very important for the new school, that the teachers know all about the Holocaust and that the students know, again, because of the name.
Tonight, starting at 7, the Jewish community at Temple Beth Shalom will host its observance of Holocaust Remembrance Day, where members of the community, including Carla Pepperzak, will honor and remember those affected by the Holocaust. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including how the impact of tomorrow's Supreme Court decision goes beyond access to abortion medication. Coming up.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
Put some spring into your step with Great Floors. Shop exclusive specials throughout our showroom on carpet, luxury vinyl, and cultivated wood. Save on Karastan carpet, only $20.23 for a whole home installation. Our huge selection and expert team are here to help you recreate the perfect look and feel of your home. Great Floors offers 12 months 0% financing, so you are free to select the exact flooring you want. Visit a showroom today and live life on Great Floors.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we simply don't do that.
We ain't no big city slickers with second stickers.
It's business as usual.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Here's to the Hoofersnoots, the Bauhoppers, and the Cluckerfloofs. Here's to all the happy animals that make the fresh foods that make us happy. Many of them living right here on local farms.
Next ET. We can't have children in Neverland. Trying to understand how he became Captain Hook. Behind the scenes of Peter Pan and Wendy. It's an ET exclusive. Plus the stars take us on set, Smee sighting included.
This is Entertainment Tonight. Da, 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 da.
Then only we're in Colorado with HGTV foursome Ben and Aaron Napier and Dave and Jenny Mars.
It's Hometown Takeover. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Clean water. It's the most basic of human necessities. One of the main sources polluting the water are the pipes that deliver it to our homes. Our Power of Water coverage continues with how some cities have tried to remove the toxic chemical out of their water supply.
You're probably familiar with Flint, Michigan, and problems with its water supply. For years, the city's public water exposed tens of thousands to dangerous levels of lead due to corroded pipes.
We want lead-free water.
And then there's Chicago, which has one of the highest concentrations of lead pipes in the country, with officials estimating 400,000 lead lines delivering water to Chicago area residents. The city now in a multi-year process of replacing pipes.
Our system here in Chicago is complicated, so it's not an easy fix.
Newark, New Jersey had a crisis of its own when its water was contaminated by lead. People were lining up to get clean water, and it forced Newark Water Coalition into action.
Nobody cared about the water crisis at first. We did a lot of town halls, educations, committees.
In 2017, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection indicated that lead levels in the tap water in schools, businesses, and homes were nearly 2 times the benchmark 15 parts per billion established by the EPA. Well, despite that threshold, experts say there is no safe level of lead exposure and is especially harmful for children and can cause potential damage to the brain and nervous system, learning and behavioral problems, and difficulties with hearing and speech. The nonprofit Newark Water Coalition provided clean drinking water to residents and tested their tap water for free.
A woman came to me and she said, "Thank you so much for telling me about this lead crisis." She was very emotional about it. She had a child with disabilities and her child would continuously drink from the sink.
The city of Newark began the $121 million task of replacing the toxic lead pipes. The work completed in 3 years when it was estimated to take 10.
We rallied to meet this crisis because every day you wait creates more and more of a peril for people's health.
Now, the lead levels in Newark are much lower, and the city is being held up as a model for cities with a lead crisis of their own. Census data from 2020 shows that about 53% of the current U.S. housing stock was built before 1980. Those homes were more likely to have been built with lead pipes that haven't been replaced. In fact, the Natural Resources Defense Council recently estimated as many as 12 million lead service lines in the U.S.
Luckily, some cities are
voluntarily starting to pull out their lead pipes. But unfortunately, that's the small minority of cities. We really need a rule that actually requires it.
And there's more money now to address this issue than ever before, with $15 billion in federal money available to replace lead service lines in America. The city of Newark was successful in replacing their pipes, but public trust will take time.
I'm very happy to report that we have limited amounts of lead. I think there's still some lead out there. So one of the things that we offer at the Newark Water Coalition still is testing people's water.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Newark, New Jersey.
Polluted for years by people, mining, and business, the Spokane River is slowly recovering. Over the last few years, local organizations and the city of Spokane made it their mission to clean up the river. One of the biggest threats to the river, as we mentioned earlier with Peter Choi, has been PCBs, man-made chemicals. They've been used in many manufactured products, from electrical equipment to plastics, even some dyes.
It was the perfect chemical. It didn't burn. It lasted forever. And because we used it and it was very resistant to being degraded, we now find it all over in the environment.
Good Morning Northwest's Robin Nance did a deep dive into what high-tech solutions the city is using to get rid of these kinds of chemicals and put the cleanest water possible back into the river. To see Robin's full special report, look for this story on KXLY.com.
A live look over downtown Spokane, a cloudy evening across the region, and it won't be long until the precipitation will start picking up. Both rain and snow. 4 things to know about your weather. Rain and snow overnight tonight with minor accumulations possible, particularly on the higher benches. Mostly dry on Friday. After about 8 a.m. we'll see things drying out, and there is a warming trend in our forecast that I think you're going to like. We're zoomed in on our forecast radar showing that rain moving in. Here's 10 o'clock tonight. Just the hints of snow on some of the higher terrain around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. By midnight, most locations turning to snow except those very lowest spots along the river, 1,900 feet. And then by 2 a.m. snow just about everywhere around the region. Will start drying out by 6 a.m. Still some lingering snow showers, and by 10 a.m. more meaningfully dry across the region, and we'll be warming up to a high of 52, warmer than today, but 58 is our average high. We're going to beat that number, and even warmer weather is in the 7-day forecast. I'll have that, plus the outlook for the entire month of May just released today. That's in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Packed into the inland Northwest, development in Latah Valley is likely to start back up as a moratorium on building homes expired. People say they've dealt with serious problems for decades and not much action has happened. They're left wondering what the future holds. Our Vanessa Perez has the story.
I'm up near Eagle Ridge, where this lot is staked out for what looks like will become many homes in the future. But I spoke to one organized neighborhood group who says more development will lead to more problems.
Not sufficient planning, definitely a lot of inaction, a lot of warnings around where we're headed and what this area could be facing. Unfortunately, with that, quite a few fatalities along 195.
Those are the realities Latah Valley has faced for decades. They worry about what's in store for the future since development has the green light again.
State of things haven't changed, so there's complete and justifiable reason in residents' mind to continue. Really addressed and not just talked about.
Plus, a major inconvenience for drivers could be on the way.
In the future, if the infrastructure isn't built and changes aren't made to the local infrastructure network, those left turns going from, say, 16th Avenue to northbound US 195 to easily access I-90, they'll be forced to take a right turn to travel southbound.
Not only a headache for drivers, but concerns about summer when the area could see wildfires.
A lot of people's anxiety meter as high as it stands today. If you start cutting access to basically escape routes or making it much more difficult to actually move out of particular areas, that anxiety level is going to go even higher.
The city says it's working with WashDOT on solutions, also citing its work during the moratorium to increase fees for developers.
We've been working very hard to
to figure out and do things in that area to reach these areas that need that infrastructure in place before growth continues.
For the people living here, action can't come sooner. Reporting in Latah Valley, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
New at 6:30, the Supreme Court is facing a critical decision on abortion rights tomorrow. Almost a year after striking down Roe v. Wade abortion protections, the High Court is now considering access to mifepristone. The FDA-approved medication is used in the majority of U.S. abortions, according to the CDC. On Wednesday, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito gave the court more time to consider the issue, extending a temporary hold on an order by a federal judge in Texas that would block access to the drug.
17 states in the District of Columbia have been ordered to keep mifepristone access as it is, and a judge who purported to issue a nationwide injunction telling the FDA to change the way that mifepristone is being administered. And so you do have a conflict, which is why the Supreme Court definitely needs to do something about it.
The reason for that extension is unclear, but the decisions the justices could make will have wide-ranging implications beyond if and when mifepristone can be used. One of those including if a single judge or panel can override the FDA. The precedent set by the ruling could create chaos in the pharmaceutical industry and threaten the regulatory system that approves new treatments. Involuntary manslaughter charges against Alec Baldwin will be dropped. That's according to his attorneys. The charges stem from the shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins during rehearsal for Baldwin's movie Rust. In North Carolina, a manhunt is underway after a 6-year-old girl and her father were shot allegedly by a neighbor after a basketball rolled into his yard. Police say the suspect, 24-year-old Robert Singletary, is considered armed and dangerous.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? Tried to shoot a kid's dad.
Singletary is charged with 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder and several other felonies. Also new tonight, some adults now have the green light to get an additional dose of the bivalent COVID booster. The FDA and CDC say people 65 and older can get another booster at least 4 months since their last one, and most people with compromised immune systems 2 months after their last dose. Across the U.S., the CDC says COVID-19 cases, deaths, and hospitalizations continue to trend down because of previous infections or vaccines, but early data suggests protection has started to wane from the bivalent booster. A pair of local wheelchair basketball teams will be competing for a national championship this weekend. Coming up in sports, why these athletes are playing for more than a trophy. And before we head to break, I want to take a look at tomorrow's schedule changes because of the NBA playoffs.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
You know, I love me some good GMA in the morning. Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. Now that's how you start your day.
Good morning, America.
Yep, bring your friends.
SUVs. Wendell Nissan has them. Murano, Rogue, Pathfinder, Armada. Even certified pre-owned Nissan SUVs. Some with 0% financing. The best service at the best prices. It's SUV month at Wendell Nissan.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. You'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
I just don't think STCU could handle us. We've grown a lot.
Can I be frank with you? Not just because that's my name. Now, we've upgraded our tools, team, and bring a fresh perspective.
So what's your pitch?
Slow down a bit. Growth's great, but uncontrolled growth, now that can be dangerous.
And how could growth be bad?
You ever seen a 6-foot-tall third grader sitting on Santa's lap? It's weird.
This is some sort of reverse psychology.
You can't drive 80 miles per hour down a highway that's not finished. You don't want to eat a grilled cheese.
I would have stopped at the first one.
I didn't know where I was going with that anyways.
I get your point, but I don't need STCU to help us slow down.
True, but we're happy to offer strategy and advice until you do need us. Sometimes, what's best for you doesn't boost our bottom line.
Sounds like STCU actually cares.
We do. All right, 3, 2, 1. Feel like we've had a breakthrough here today. STCU Business. Partner up.
In half the space.
SUVs. Wendell Nissan has them. Murano, Rogue, Pathfinder, Armada. Even certified pre-owned Nissan SUVs. Some with 0% financing. The best service at the best prices. It's SUV month at Wendell Nissan.
There is still skiing to be had, but the resorts are continuing to close, and I think tomorrow and Saturday are going to be exceptionally good. Lookout Pass closed for the season. Thanks for the great year, Lookout. Can't wait to get on the Hiawatha Trail. Schweitzer has been closed. Silver Mountain will be open Saturday and Sunday. Mount Spokane closed for the season, but boy, if you go on their website, they've got some fun stuff, camps for the kids this summer that are worth checking out. 49 degrees north will be open tomorrow. They're going to get some new snow overnight tonight, and should be a great Friday and Saturday. They're open Sunday too on the mountain. Here's a look at our forecast. Snowfall 2 to 4 inches at Lookout, but it will be closed. But keep that in mind if you are traveling, that you're going to encounter some snow. 1 to 2 inches new at Silver Mountain, and 1 to 2 inches of new snow at 49 degrees north. We are going to start melting some of that snowpack. Here's our temperature trend over the next several days. We're below average Friday and Saturday, exactly average Sunday. Then we dip a little bit Monday, but then we have a warming trend. We could hit 70 degrees on Thursday. Fingers crossed for that. I think a lot of people would like a 70-degree day. Our recently released long-range forecast for the month of May, it was released today from the Climate Prediction Center, is calling for at least a trend toward above average temperatures and below average precipitation. Glad that we aren't seeing the dark oranges or the dark browns, because going either way too far is not a good thing. But some nice dry spring weather, I think, would be welcome, at least at some point. Our forecast snowfall totals through tomorrow morning down in town less than an inch around the region in terms of the valleys. And again, you'd have to measure it quickly, because as we warm up into the 50s tomorrow, that snow is going to melt fast. Here is a look at your planning forecast. We are dry for Earth Day on Saturday, 56 degrees for a high. Friday, the precipitation should be over by mid-morning. Then we have another round of rain coming in Saturday night into Sunday. Wouldn't rule out an isolated thunderstorm on Sunday. More showers possible on Monday, and then we kick off that warming trend with dry weather Tuesday through Thursday, and overnight lows staying above freezing. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. New at 6 o'clock, the maker of Narcan nasal spray is working to lower the cost of the life-saving product. The company says it's aiming for an out-of-pocket price of less than $50 for its Narcan, now that the FDA will allow for over-the-counter sales. Its goal is to match the price that government agencies, nonprofits, and first responders pay. The wholesale price is $125. Pricing for over-the-counter Narcan will be left to individual retailers. They claim to have Narcan available online and in stores by late summer. Well, April 20th, nicknamed World Weed Day, and while marijuana enthusiasts celebrate the drug, experts remind users that pot has downsides too. Cannabis is used to socialize, relax, get better sleep, but can also impair brain function. Researchers in the journal Addiction note that weed makes it harder to concentrate, remember things, and learn. A University of Montreal psychiatrist says those issues can lead to lower educational achievement in young people. In adults, marijuana use can cause poor work performance and dangerous driving. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Performance. It's what powers the 2023 family of Mazda CUVs. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and an available turbo engine. Helping you take performance further.
With effortless power and the reliability of iActive all-wheel drive, Mazda CUVs are built for the Pacific Northwest. Take a test drive today at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Your life revolves around your home, family, and backyard. It's your world. Shape your world with the Plant Farm. They'll help you select the healthiest plants, flowers, shrubs, and trees for your backyard. Enhance your patios and front entrance with the stunning Plant Farm signature hanging baskets. And shape your world indoors with the largest selection of unique specialty houseplants. Shape your world with the Plant Farm, because life is better in the garden.
Grand Coulee is the place to be for Mother's Day weekend for 3 days of rodeo action. Thursday for the Cletus Lacey Memorial Bull Riding. Friday and Saturday for the Colorama PRCA Pro Rodeo. Go to coloramaprorodeo.org for tickets.
Never stops ringing. They're harassing you. I just hope the lunatics move on before I have a second heart attack. I'm Dr. Bailey.
Been looking forward to meeting you. How's the new place?
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
You filming? Yep. Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Four News Now is brought to you by Healthcare Pathways Discovery Night.
Well, after 14 practices over the past month, the Washington State Cougars are set to wrap up spring ball this weekend. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesome. The annual Crimson and Gray game is on Saturday, and the message out of Pullman has been a positive one so far. Alex Crescenti has more.
The Washington State Cougars wrapped up one final practice this morning before the annual spring game on Saturday afternoon. And by all accounts, it's good news coming out of this camp. No major injuries to report on, and the coaching staff is very happy with the progress the team has made over the last month or so. But that's not to say the team still has a ways to go from where they want to be. There are numerous position groups with new faces that are trying to build chemistry before fall camp gets going. However, the veteran leadership on this team is something that the Cougs can always fall back on.
You know, and I think this is a great time to really focus on those little details, the switches and adjustments that coaches came in and made, and really apply yourself to adapt to this new technique and be effective.
Now, the spring game is nothing more than a glorified scrimmage, so the coaches are just hoping for two things: no injuries and have a clean game.
You know, controlling the things that we control, you know, getting a line, the silly pre-snap penalties, you know, not holding, playing with good technique. I just like when guys have to go out there in a perceived big environment, a game day type, you know, setup, and go out there and perform.
This is going to be kind of my first ever televised, you know, spring game. So, you know, just showing the fans, you know, why Wazoo brought me here and what they're going to be expecting from me from the season.
Now, the Crimson and Gray game is set for 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, but we are also 135 days away from the season opener at Colorado State. In Pullman, I'm Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
All right, thank you, Alex. Now, for years, Parasport Spokane has given athletes with disabilities the chance to play the sports they love. The organization will be in the spotlight this weekend. Parasport Spokane has 2 teams heading to the National Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Parasport Spokane's military team is one of just 4 in the entire nation going to compete in their inaugural tournament. The women's team is also competing. They are ranked 8th out of 13 competitive teams. Parasport Spokane has athletes as young as 11 years old playing in the competition. One of their stars is Valley Christian senior Elizabeth Flock. Flock will be playing for the women's team at Alabama next season, and she's excited to compete one last time with her Spokane teammates.
We're capable of doing sports just as much as that anybody can. We're not limited to there's so many people who says we can't do stuff, and when we do this, we're showing that we can do it.
When you get home, especially from an injury that's life-changing or even not, you know, physical or mental, it gives you an outlet. It gives you something to do, and I hope more vets hear this and they reach out to us.
The National Wheelchair Basketball Championships will run tomorrow through Sunday in Birmingham, Alabama. And Game 2 of the first round of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs is underway between the Seattle Kraken and Colorado Avalanche. No score in this one just yet. Remember, Seattle upset Colorado in Game 1 by a final score of 3-1. Seattle looking to make it 2 in a row. They've beaten the Avalanche 3 times on the road this season, so they'll be looking for a 4th, and we'll have coverage of that game tonight on Nightside. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. With sunshine and spring sports ramping up, doctors are talking about how young athletes can stay safe from injuries. They recommend kids play a variety of sports to prevent injuries from overuse. To keep ligaments, muscles, and bones healthy, doctors have a few tips. Take time off, wear the right gear, stay hydrated, and exercise is good for physical and mental health. Children and teens who play sports have improved social skills, sleep, behavior, and self-esteem.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Luxurious Karastan carpets are just the footing you need to live beautifully. And now, during National Karastan Month, you can save beautifully. Use your exclusive rebate to receive up to $1,000 back on select styles of Karastan carpets and the flawless craftsmanship of Luxcraft hard surface flooring. Live beautifully, save beautifully with Karastan. At Sandpoint Furniture Carpet One, Floor and Home.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Sandpoint Furniture Carpet One.
My parents started this dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and worked hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Toyota dealerships. And we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Whether they're lifelong Toyota owners or first-time buyers, Toyota drivers in North Idaho helped us to grow into a dealership with over 170 dedicated staff members. People who care about this community the way my family does, with vehicles we're proud to put our name on.
If you're interested in a new Toyota or ready to bring yours into our state-of-the-art service center, we'll give you the great service that we began generations ago. Because we're looking forward to being your local Toyota family dealer for generations to come.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita. Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
It's the spring perennial sale at Ritter's Garden and Gift. 20% off all perennials. Flowers, foliage plants, grasses, and more. It's our best perennial sale of the year. While you're here, explore acres of plants and greenhouses full of blooms. Shop exquisite sculptures and plant containers. Discover tempting gift ideas too. Live life beautifully. Ritter's Garden and Gift on North Division.
Love is Blind. What's it really like to be a contestant on the hit show?
You may kiss your wife.
Next, Inside Edition. It's TV's hottest dating show. But wait till you see what these former contestants are saying about what they experienced.
Do you think that this show preys on vulnerable people?
Then, what a sore loser. Oh! What the student who got sucker punched is saying today. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, another Coeur d'Alene school district is in trouble as a failed levy leads to cut counseling options. Plus, shocking surveillance video of a school bus driver intentionally slamming on his brakes to, quote, teach the kids a lesson.
We've got wet weather moving in. In fact, already starting to see some very light rain in Spokane Valley or County. It will start as rain, but then turn to snow. Don't be surprised if you wake up with some minor accumulations at your house, but sleep in and it will be melted because it is not going to take long to get rid of that snow.
Well, that's the good news there. You don't have to worry about driving on it either.
Yeah, sleep in. Don't got to tell me twice.
Okay. Yeah, there's your permission. You'll miss the snow.
Do we have the sleep in graphic on the forecast? Like, was someone still in bed?
I'm sure I could do that.
All right. Join us tonight at 11 to see.